Jazz, organize a battle unit. We're going after them.
I don't think it's a surprise to anyone that watches my channel that I'm a big fan of Star Wars. And one of the reasons why I like Star Wars so much is because I'm a fan of the soundtrack. The soundtrack gives you clues about what's about to happen in the story. And that happened in another story that we all love very much, Transformers. It has a soundtrack that when it features trumpets, it means that a challenge is about to happen, like this. Or if you hear trumpets in a different way, it means that the hero is about to spring into action. Or sometimes you use music to simply show that you're about to change from one scene to another. So why might I be talking about Transformers?
Pow!
I feel lucky as a Gen Xer to grow up in a time where we had television shows and cartoons that taught us moral lessons of how to be better people or how you had to go through hardship to become better. And along with the fact that Transformers taught us that you can't always be a car all the time. Sometimes you have to be a robot. So you have to create different identities at times in order to succeed. It taught us moral lessons like hard work comes before reward. A lesson that seems to be lost on many people in newer generations.
Hey, ladies, I apologize for what we're seeing right now. But Mom, I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you. Mom, we can look at it in a minute. You can't. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize.
You can see the caption for this video. A mother at an elementary school was upset that her son didn't receive an award. And you can see right there, there's the son's head as he's walking out. And here, he's learning a lesson. Unfortunately, it's not a lesson that's similar to the lessons that we would have learned watching shows like Transformers, but he is learning a lesson. And unfortunately, I think these kinds of lessons have been imprinted on many of us as Black men. Some might watch this video and think that I'm going to point my finger at the mother and chastise her behavior. But I'm more interested in the young boy's mental outlook because I think the mother's behavior is somewhat immaterial to my point. The lesson that the young boy is learning here is if everyone else is getting something and I'm not getting it, I should just make a scene. It's not fair. But we all know that life isn't fair. And if you want success, sometimes you're going to have to work hard and not get rewarded, not get noticed. You're going to have to keep working hard even after that happens. In effect, what the young boy is going to need is for his attitude to transform.
Jailbreaker! Wheeljack!
One of the beautiful things about soundtracks is that they use different instruments to convey different moods. In this case, you can hear a heightened anxiety with the use of flutes and clarinets with their high-pitched tones. Then you'll have other instruments like pianos and trumpets and other horns illustrate that you're at a crisis moment.
Side swipe!
So why am I, a guy who spent 20 plus years overseas, making a video about Transformers? Well, for us as Black men, and I'm very lucky because I grew up with a very strong father who I respect very much to this day, and he taught me many things about manhood. But for many of us, we don't have that opportunity. And even for myself, I can see that women, in our case, Black women, can get away with behaviors that maybe at times we mimic, even if we don't know we're mimicking them. From emotional outletting to just how we choose to go about our daily lives. And some of these behaviors really need to be unlearned, or should I say, we need to transform our thinking.
Ironhide, Mirage, Sunstreaker!
One of the beautiful things that Transformers taught us is that we're going to go through difficulty before we get to our destination. We're going to have setbacks. And for many guys that get off the plane, they're going to think, I can find the girl that I want relatively easily. She's going to want to be with me, and click, click, click is going to go smoothly. But that young lady's parents may not want her to be seen in public with a guy who is not a certain skin tone, or she sees you as just someone to have fun with. And you have to navigate these kind of setbacks until you find someone that is the kind of person that wants to be with you. These are setbacks. You're going to have losses. It's just part of the game.
Start your engines! Ready, Prime!
As soon as you said marriage, like it's so casual. You don't realize that this thing is becoming an idol.
This is a young lady who's afraid that she is idolizing the idea of getting married over her love for God. And it's kind of an emotional reaction to a logistics problem. She needs to talk to a certain number of men that are marriage-minded, or she needs a system that many other cultures have that the black culture doesn't really have anymore, to find someone to pair her up with. But she's kind of admitting that she's going to lay back and let God handle it.
I don't want to idolize anything, because I love God. And He loves me. Yes. And His love is all that I need. So yeah, of course, God, I want to be a wife one day. If it's in your plans, if it's in your will, for my life.
Personally, I don't have any problem with this TikTok or her having these emotions. But what I'm telling guys is that if you have any of this in you, that God's going to figure it out. God's going to fix it. That all I got to do is just believe and things are going to work out. You probably shouldn't go overseas.
So I'm laying it down today. Amen. I'm no longer idolizing marriage, and I will patiently wait on the Lord.
I don't show these videos necessarily to point fingers at black women's behavior. I show these videos because if these young ladies are our mothers and our sisters and our cousins or our first girlfriends, and they can have this behavior and it's a feel-good moment and everyone says, oh, don't worry, you can manifest it, it's going to come to you, then it's part of us because we were in the room with these young ladies. Or if our mother or whoever our guardian was storms out because we didn't get what everyone else got and we think, well, we can do that anywhere we go, that's not going to work either. There are times when simply we have to put our feelings aside and get to work.
Let's roll.
One of the mistakes I think black men make going abroad, and I can say it because I've made it, is that we're overly emotional. And I think much of that comes from being in proximity with women who can be emotional and get away with it more often than men can. Quite simply, there are boys that have never had a male teacher in their duration of elementary, middle, junior high school, etc. When if you go overseas, there are many men teachers. As a matter of fact, in this particular country, I think it's almost 50-50, if not 60-40 women to men. So every year, a student here will have at least one male teacher, if not several. And if you never see masculinity control emotion, then you start thinking that masculinity can be exhibited in a certain way. And that's why I like the essence, the way that Optimus Prime carries himself. What he taught us in the cartoon was that if things are difficult, there are times where you have to just go through the hardship, get back on your feet, and let's go. We got to go. We got work to do. It's not about your feelings. Being a successful person overseas has nothing to do with your feelings or who wronged you. It's about, are you able to function? Can you get the job done? And if you can't understand that, you're going to have a very difficult time making the change, the progression to being someone that can live and function overseas. Simply put, there are times when your feelings don't matter. And if your feelings matter to you and you think you can manifest things and things are just going to work out, you're best where you are. But if you can control your feelings and you can work hard and you can do your best and still not get recognized for it and still get up and keep working hard, you might be the kind of guy that could get a passport and make your life for yourself overseas. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you next video. Take care, guys.